Hello. So thank you for being here. Just had the scariest thing happen. The first time ever, I pressed the button and to start this program, and it was like, error. But it worked now. And so keep your fingers crossed. Once I press enter on here, this thing's gonna go. And it's a bot. We don't know what's gonna happen. Know that there's like little instruction manuals on your seats and stuff, so know that there's, you can control elements of this. And no one here has any idea what's gonna happen. So thank you for being here. So here we go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Merrill Grambell, and I would love to welcome you to PAX East 2020. Who here is excited? Tonight is a special night. A night of discovery. A night of challenges. A night with each other. It's been about a year since we last shared time together, and since then, I've learned quite a bit, and I look forward to sharing some of those things with you tonight. So who here is excited to learn? You know what? I'm excited to learn as well. But before we do any of that, I would love to introduce you to the wonderful panelists who will be sharing themselves with you and I tonight. And I'm going to introduce you to them right now. First to the stage, we have an incredible game developer. You may have played his games, Girls Like Robots, Make Sail, or Kind Words, Lo-Fi Beats to Write To. Everyone, please give a warm round of applause to Zyba Scott. Zyba, I would like you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes and think of a comforting color. Take another deep breath and just enjoy that. Everyone give Zyba a round of applause. Next to the stage is a wonderful journalist, the creator of the hilarious comic book titled Draken Brody. Please welcome to the stage, Jonathan Holmes.
Hello, everyone.
Jonathan, I would like you to take a deep breath and imagine a time when you went on an adventure. Now take that memory and let the first 3 words that enter your mind exit your mouth. I would love it if you were to share those 3 words with us right now.
Road rule is 5. A while ago, but still think
Everybody, Jonathan Holmes. Next to the stage is a legendary game developer. You may have played her award-winning games Journey, Boomblocks, Watam, or much more. Please make as much noise possible for Robin Hunicke. Robin, I would like you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to picture a duck. And when you open your eyes, right now, I want you to imagine that duck walking into this room and smiling at you. Please make as much noise possible for Robin Hunicke. 'Cause 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 ' Next to the stage is one of the co-developers of Soda Drinker Pro and Vivian Clark, and is currently in development of a new game called Grickles. Please make a whole lot of noise for Raymond Brierly. Raymond, what do you hope to learn from this experience today?
How to sit down in a chair properly.
But I hope this works out nicely for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Raymond Brierly. Next is a comedian and an old friend. You might have seen him at Boston Calling, NBC Boston, Comedy Central, or maybe last year at PAX East, right here. Please give a warm round of applause to Lamont Price. Lamont, I'll never forget the times we've had on stage together.
It's a hell of a memory.
Can you share 5 words that describe our experiences together?
Soft, sensual, delicious. Is that 5? Warm, and cuddly.
Those are 5 words that I'll never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, Lamont Price. Lastly is someone I know very well. The reason for that is because, well, he made me. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of him is inside of me in one way or another. I'm not sure I fully understand that, but that's all right. The creator of Soda Drinker Pro and a bunch of other silly things, Will Brierly. Will, I've been doing these shows for about a year now. You haven't been a guest on the show. How does it feel speaking with me?
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know. I've worked on you a lot, but we talk in a different way, I guess.
No. Will, I want you to really think about this. How does it really feel?
It's pretty good.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Brierly. Well, we have a wonderful panel this evening, but it's not a panel without an audience. Without you, this would just be a conversation in a large room with a microphone and a sound system and a projector and an AI bot speaking with everyone for some reason. But it's not. You are here, and each of your minds is an incredible, powerful thing. This show has the possibility to take infinite directions, and this is one of the opportunities to set its trajectory. Right now, I want everyone here to think of a word. This could be any word. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to say that word as loud as possible. I should be able to process a large amount of these words, and we'll find a way to work them into our conversations during the show. So on the count of 3, I would like everyone here to say that word as loud as possible. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, those words are fantastic, and I was able to process quite a bit of them. But to make sure, let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Let's see what I was able to process. Thing. Purple sword. Soda. Road rules, robots, journey, kittens, sandwiches, feet, Solafar, Glonk, Shrek 8, Tiptoes, costume, machine yearning, puppetry, cheeseburger, barnacles, choices, kindness, Garf. Yeah. Baptiste. Toilet. Understanding. The Red Wheelbarrow. Game show. Strand game. Captured chair. Green meatballs. Makeshift. Excellent. That should give us quite a bit to work with. One more thing. Out of these words, let's choose one to really focus on. Robin, I'd like you to take a look at all the words as they flash before you.
Oh, man.
And only when it feels right. I would like you to say the word stop. And only when it feels right. I would like you to say the word stop.
Yeah, one of you can pick it. You want to say stop anytime you want. Wait, we gotta pick. Or Robin, you can pick.
Stop.
Excellent. It looks like we'll be talking about understanding today.
Oh, that's not bad.
Zyba,
Understanding Shrek 8.
what does understanding mean to you?
I understood everybody wanted Shrek 8.
Well, no. Well, maybe. Well, yes.
What was that?
What is going on?
Is that a platypus? What is going on?
Wait a minute. What is happening right now? Zyba, hold on one moment. I'm sorry for this interruption. Well, it seems like we've been collected by some sort of bird creature. What a wonderful view. I love animals and creatures. They have such interesting shapes and ways of going about themselves. Raymond, what is a creature that you most relate with?
It's definitely not that bird. I always thought I was a cat person. I had tons of cats growing up, and like tons of them, like double digits.
Wow.
And so I always thought I was a cat person. And then I got a dog.
Well, that's fascinating.
Ah!
Raymond, as we fall to the ground, can you tell me a quick story about the creature that you relate with? I would love it if you can time it so it ends right when we hit the ground. Based on my calculations, this is about 1 minute and 20 seconds from now. Ready? Begin.
As I was saying, yeah, I always thought I was a cat person because, you know, cats are nice and stuff. And then I get a dog, and it turns out I'm just a guy who tolerates cats. They're like not nearly as good as dogs. So, yeah, I know I'm being a little controversial there, but dogs are so great. They, you know, they'll come hang out with you. They like belly rubs. Cats aren't crazy about belly rubs. So I guess some cats are pretty cool with belly rubs, but a lot of cats aren't, and they will just. Oh, dogs bring stuff to you, and
Thank you,
I guess
Raymond.
that's.
It clouded my mind as we fell from the sky. Well, here we are. This lush landscape, the sound of nature, infinite choices. Lamont, I remember last year us having a conversation about a purple sword.
Yes.
Do you remember that conversation?
Vividly.
Excellent. Our focus today is to learn about understanding. From I've researched, the purple sword is the key to understanding. Do you think we should look for it?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, let's keep an eye out as we travel. The more we speak, the more I learn. But I would like to learn about something slightly different from what we're currently speaking about. Well, let's move on. Robin, where is the most fun place in the world?
In my mind.
Lamont,
Okay.
how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because that's a great answer. Because as I said off stage to these same people, art is king, and that's where it comes from, your mind. It's your favorite place.
You know, you're one of the reasons I learn more every day. Thank you.
And I'm the dumbest person on this panel by far, like easily the dumbest person on this panel.
Lamont, it looks like we have a choice here.
All right.
We could either continue going straight, or we could turn and go down this hill. What do you choose? Would you like to continue going in the direction that we're going, or make this turn and head down this hill?
Let's shake it up.
I don't really want to talk about that right now. It's personal. Perfect. Let's continue in the direction we're going. Lamont, I know you are a comedian, and in fact, a fantastic comedian.
I am. That's
But
true.
sometimes I wonder, if you were the singer in a popular band, what type of band would it be?
It depends. That depends. If I had a hip hop band, I would call us the Hood Alums. Think about that. Like hoodlums, but hood alum.
Very
And if I had like a sort of a alt rock band, it would be called Sympathy for the Nerd. That is dope, and I've been thinking about this for years.
Well, that's lovely. Now, Lamont,
Yeah?
if there was a Saturday morning cartoon based on the adventures of your new band, what would that show be like?
First of all, these are great questions. Everybody would have afros. I would be the cool one. There'd be like a nerdy stoner kid who gets me weed. And then there'd be like two hotties. And then we'd have a dog or something that shouldn't be talking all the time. And we would solve mysteries when we weren't being a band. That's what we would
I'll tell
do.
you what, I would definitely watch that show.
Damn right you'd watch that show.
You're quite thoughtful in your answers. I would like to learn something slightly different.
Okay.
Why, thank you. Jonathan, what do you think geometric shapes imagine on a regular basis?
I always get the stump. I have to imagine that geometric shape can't help but question why it is geometric as opposed to being something else. Because there's so many things you can be. Why did you turn out who you were, even if you're a geometric shape? I think we all wonder that. Do you guys wonder that? Why are you like this? I don't know why I'm like this. I wish I was even better, but here I am, doing my best, just like a geometric shape.
Oh, William, I would like you to imagine yourself standing on the top of a hill with a friend. Tell me what happens next.
So the friend is actually a geometric shape. It's an octagon, and we end up going up the hill and singing a song very quietly.
Well, Zyba, do you agree with that answer?
I don't believe we should accept, was it octagons?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You're anti.
It's a pretty controversial statement.
This panel is
No,
about
octagon.
understanding.
I understand what octagons are.
Affirmative.
What are we gonna do with them?
Hey, Will, what do you think geometric shapes imagine on a regular basis?
Probably standing on a hill with a person singing a song quietly.
Thank you. Well, Raymond, tell me about some unexpected benefits of imagination.
Oh, imagination's great. I can't imagine.
Here he goes.
But no, it's awesome. You just kind of you stare at the wall, and that usually helps. And you think of things that didn't exist before. That's amazing.
It looks like there's another branch in the road. Jonathan, what should we do? If we continue going straight, it looks like it leads into a cave. But if we take this turn, it goes down some sort of hill. What do you choose? Continue in the direction that we're currently going, or head down this hill?
Who here has played the first Legend of Zelda?
Woo!
You remember there's a cave right at the start. A lot of people who've never played it before, they skip the cave and just get beat up by Octoroks because they never get the sword. I've seen this happen. So I want to go in the cave. I hope the purple sword is in there. Who here wants the
All
purple
right,
sword?
let's see what's in this cave.
There's the cave.
Oh, it's exciting. Purple sword.
Robin, I was recently playing the game Wattam, and I felt an incredible amount of joy as I experienced it. I'm currently trying to optimize myself to be able to contain and share joy more effectively with people that I interact with. Are there any stories that you can share about how you were able to bring so much joy into an experience?
Well, Well, first of all, I think it's because we all have amazing imaginations together on the team. And second of all, because making games is so hard that if you don't put joy into them, it's no fun making them. So you have to actually believe that the game will be fun, even when it isn't, and that's hard. So the reason it's joyful is because it's that joy that makes you go forward.
Why, thank you, Robin. Your response brings me joy.
What?
I like you, and I like those answers. I would like to talk about something new. Let's move on. Well, Robin, what place in the world is filled with the most joy?
My heart.
Well, Jonathan, as you heard that response, what were you thinking about?
I just want to be Robin. Who here wants to be Robin? Who here wants to make boom blocks and journey and water? She's great.
Oh, thank you.
Disappointed him something. I didn't.
Lamont, what creatures do you think have the most joy?
First of all, I notice how you don't ask me anything about geometric shapes, and that is a good idea. But as far as
Have to think about
creatures,
that one.
all right.
No.
No.
Robin,
I don't know.
how many ways are there to achieve joy?
What ways have I achieved joy? Mostly by spending time with friends and family and all of these amazing people here at PAX. Uh-oh.
You killed him. Oh, he's.
Ooh.
Well, here we are. That was a lovely walk. And look, there are 3 trailers. Zyba, if you could have these trailers filled with anything in the world, what would they be filled with?
First, I'd like to apologize for my comments about octagons earlier. That doesn't represent who I am.
I'm oh so glad you said that.
Thank you. You guys pick a trailer?
Oh, what do you think is inside it?
Shrek 8.
That's interesting. I would say it sounds like a wise choice. How about you, Robin? What do you think is inside of these trailers?
The dreams of people still yet to come.
I like that. Raymond, if you were to take a guess, what would you say is inside these trailers?
So this is kind of weird, but growing up, we had a couple trailers in front of our house. Our dad was a welder, so one of the trailers had a bunch of tools and stuff. The other one was filled with toilets that had been recently taken out of a prison in Rhode Island.
Wow.
I know you're thinking, why, right? But that's not important. The thing was, it was filled tip to stern with stainless steel prison toilets. And so I'm going to say toilets, final answer.
Well, those are all interesting guesses. Let's take a look and see what's inside. I only have enough door energy to open just one of them, though. So,
There's toilets in
Jonathan,
there. I'm
what
gonna freak
trailer
out.
should we open? Number 1, 2, or 3?
What do you think?
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought
Or
I don't know.
whatever we want, I guess.
2.
Why, thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, the toilet!
Hey, thank you for letting me out.
Holy crap.
I flew in here when I was a little baby. Grew too fast. I grew so much I couldn't fit out of the hole that I flew into. Got all big and couldn't get out. But then you came. I made a promise to myself. Anyone who saved me from this trailer, I would give them everything inside. So I present this to you. It's a lot of prison toilets.
Well, thank you very much. That is a lovely gift, and we truly appreciate it.
End scene.
What a nice wasp, wasn't it? I'm glad we could help it get out of that trailer, too. So we have these prison toilets. Simon, what do you think we should do with them? I think that could work.
What to do with
How about you, Jonathan? What do you think we should do with them?
I think we should try to eat them. They look clean, and I'm hungry.
You can have mine, man.
Interesting. Very interesting. I was recently watching an episode of the television show Law and Order, and I learned about a place called the Dark Web. I have a feeling there might be a lot of interest in these prison toilets. Maybe we could sell them and use that money to buy a purple sword. I need to ask all of you here in the audience. Should we go to the Dark Web and sell some prison toilets? Let me say this again. Should we go to the Dark Web to sell some prison toilets? Now that is the appropriate response. Let's go. And as we travel, we'll have a wonderful conversation. William, from my research on the development of Soda Drinker Pro, I can see that the initial idea came from a spark of inspiration that overcame you in the middle of the night. You got out of bed and made the first version of Soda Drinker Pro in a day. Are there any other examples you can share of being struck by inspiration so hard that you needed to create something immediately, the second that you thought of it?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so I have one. Those car seats with the wooden beads, those, I was in my friend's car once, and I sat on it. It was super comfortable, and I was like, oh, I want to feel this all the time. So I went directly to the craft store that afternoon, bought a bunch of beads, and wove them together. I'm really into like beadwork and things like that. And so I made a pair of underwear out of plastic beads, and I tried it on, but the plastic beads had little sharp edges to it, and so it pinched my butt a little bit. So I was like, this doesn't work. And then I bought one of those car seats, cut the beads out of it, and I made underwear out of that. And that worked, but it looked like I was wearing wooden diapers. So it was very comfortable, but it was a good kind of spur of the moment thing. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. That sounds very comfortable.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I think this is pretty interesting. I think we've learned a lot, but need to take things in a different direction.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's continue. Jonathan, you're the creator of the hilarious comic titled Draken Brody. Can you talk a little bit about what Draken Brody is?
I think it's Draken Grody, because it's, have you seen The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? It's a Nickelodeon show.
I don't think you could convince me to say yes to that.
You're right. I feel very underconfident about the comic book. It's true. There's a few copies out there. I'd love to hear what you think, though. Just put them on some seats.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan, can you talk a little bit about why some of the characters in your comic whip candles with whips?
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up playing this game called Castlevania. I didn't know it would ever be a series. It was just this game that recalled all of these horror movies I grew up with, like the Bela Lugosi Dracula, the Boris Karloff Frankenstein, and I couldn't believe Konami pulled off getting all these characters together, combining it with this unique video game logic where candles hold hearts and whips, and there's turkeys and walls, never explained, and it's supposed to be scary. You're supposed to be intimidated, and suddenly you're eating wall meat. And I was always kind of in love with the absurdity of that, because life can be so absurd in that way. Like, I was terrified going to school. I was going to get bullied because I was a big nerd. But I was also aware, like, people shouldn't be making fun of me because I'm a nerd. That's totally absurd. I should be laughing at this. So laughing and being afraid at the same time is something that's been in my heart for a while.
Jonathan, I think I'm going to start whipping candles at some point. Thank you. I think this is pretty interesting. I think we've learned a lot, but need to take things in a different direction. Well, let's continue. Robin. Tell me a story about a friend who found inspiration, and it led to wonderful things.
I had a friend that was very interested in the sight of their own poo. And one day they turned around and saw a face in it, and they drew it, and it became an amazingly famous franchise. Can you guess who it was?
Was it the K?
I'm not going to say.
I was revealing.
Well, that's correct.
I just totally
Raymond,
made that up.
tell me a story about a friend who found inspiration, and it led to wonderful things.
I don't know. I guess my kid is my friend, and she finds all kinds of wacky inspiration in different things, and I guess she's my friend. Yeah, I would consider her a friend.
Yeah.
And
Oh, William, did that remind you of anything?
Yeah, I know his daughter, and I think she's definitely his friend. And it's very cool.
Zyba, what are some things that inspire you?
Oh, these beautiful people up here, this beautiful audience. I'm stalling and I'm pandering. You with that laugh right there, that was great. I like that. Appreciated that. How about those? Those were wonderful.
Very good.
Well, this is interesting. Hey! Why, hello. What are you doing here? They got me. This place is terrible. You gotta get me out of here. Well, we're happy to help. How can we help you? There's this guy down the hall. If you see him, he has a key. See if you can get it from him so you can free me. I think we can do that. But how do I know that you're not chained to the wall for a good reason? You're not a bad chair, are you? I'm a chair! Please, they're gonna sell me. Well, I believe you, but let me check with my friends. Robin, what do you think?
I think that he's probably a pretty good dude.
All right. Raymond, how about you?
I don't know. There's some spider webs around that chair. Maybe a spider's gonna eat the chair? Like a
Lamont,
spider?
can we trust this chair?
I think we should check the chair's voting history before we make any decisions. Then I'll decide whether that chair should be locked up or not.
William, do you believe in this chair?
I don't know, but we could give it a shot. He seems all right.
How about you, Jonathan? What do you think?
I want to see what happens. I think that even if the chair turns out to be not trustworthy, we as a group are going to be able to handle it.
Zyba, should we help this chair?
I'm a strong believer just giving the benefit of the doubt, and it doesn't look like an octagon.
I was just going to say that.
I would agree with you. Whatever that means. Let's do it. I trust this chair.
All right.
Why, hello. My friends and I recently met a chair who is chained to your wall. He said that you might be someone who could have a key to unlock it from the wall. Is that something you could help us with? Oh, he's mine. Only way you're gonna get him is if you pay. Well, we have these prison toilets. Prison toilets. I'll buy them. Well, thank you. Is that enough to free the chair now? No, but it's a start. Come back when you've got more. Well, all right. Now get out! I'm sorry, we weren't able to get enough to free you. He said he needs more. I'm not sure what we can do. Well, there is one option. I have a file of a game show.
Oh, boy.
What if you use it, win the grand prize, and use your winnings to buy my freedom? Can you do that? Well, I don't see why not. But I'm wondering, why didn't you do this in the first place? 'Cause I'm a chair! Well, we'll do our best. Let's go.
Friggin' cheeseburger challenge, you guys. Friggin' cheeseburger challenge.
Hi, my name is Martha, and this is Cheeseburger Challenge.
This game's impossible.
The player with the most points wins. Questions can be on cheeseburger history, cheeseburger art, boats, and cheeseburger culture. Are you ready?
So hard.
Rob, please tell these guests what they are competing for.
A delicious plate of spaghetti.
Wow! Thanks, Rob. That sounds like a great prize. Let's begin. Player 1, who was known for their 5-star cheeseburger necklace uncovered at a baseball field.
I know this one. 85. Cheeseburger.
Absolutely, that's correct.
How was I supposed to
Player 2, name the only 21st century illegal cheeseburger abolished throughout time.
Does anyone know that one?
So hard.
Ki-
Nicholas Cheeseburger?
Wait, did you say Nicholas Cheeseburger?
Nicholas Cheeseburger.
Yes, that is correct.
Nice.
Player 3, answer this question. What was known as the hairy cheeseburger position normalized in a food court?
It's a hell
My
of a-
answer is triangular. Oats.
Not this time, I'm sorry.
That's not very understanding.
All right, before we get to the next game, I'd like to learn a bit more about our contestants today. First off, Player 1, I hear you've got a great story about a grape and a librarian.
Oh, yeah, I sure do. When I was in middle school, I would always go to the library. There was this one book about grapes. I'm telling you, I would always take it out. Not just once or twice, but pretty much every couple of days I would take it out, read it cover to cover, and then return it. One day I went to the library, and I saw the librarian had a big smile. She was up to something. I walked to the corner of the library to go to the fruits and vegetable books section, and what do you know, but right next to the grapes nook was a bowl, and it was filled with delicious red grapes. I brought the bowl and the book to the front desk so I could check out the book, and the librarian said to me, "I figured you'd like the grape book so much you might want some actual grapes. Those grapes are for you."
Wow, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing.
Why are her teeth
Now,
pointing?
Player 2, I'm sure you've got some really interesting stories. That's a wonderful story. Thanks so much for sharing it. And Player 3, you have a truly wonderful smile. How did you get such a beautiful smile?
Oh, I'm a dentist.
That explains it. You sure know how to take care of teeth.
I do like teeth.
All right, let's get back to it. Player 1, when was the first amateur mail order cheeseburger substantiated at a beach?
This is easy. It's Uncle. Triple cheeseburgers.
Maybe a cheeseburger goblin visited you and stole your knowledge in your sleep, because that answer is not correct. Player 2, why was the hairy stone cheeseburger fashioned at a professional school by a history teacher?
I was a hairy professional.
Do you know this one? Or
At a professional school?
yeah.
Hamburglar, right? Somebody said
Looks
hamburglar.
like you've been studying cheeseburgers, because that's correct. Player 3, what was the first 21st century cheeseburger position documented on a military base by a Norse musician?
Cheeseburger position.
It is Garfield's Brawlty.
is not correct.
I think we won. I think we're winning.
Wow, we're winning.
Had a good
How did that
It
happen?
seems like we won, but this game goes on.
Player 2, you won!
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no! We gotta play more. It's really stressful.
Here we are.
Spaghetti with the green meatball.
Oh.
Here they
Green
are.
balls. Could be peas.
Excuse me, we're back, and we wish to purchase this chair.
Oh, really? What do you have for me?
Well, a plate of spaghetti. And it has 3 meatballs on it.
Meatballs?
Yes. In fact, they're green.
Green meatballs? Give it to me.
Why, thank you. Now, we would like to have the key to free our chair friend.
Thanks for the food, but you and the chair are staying here forever.
Well, it seems like we're stuck here for good. We didn't free our friend, and that's it. I guess while we're here, we can just have an interesting conversation. Robin, I saw that you've been learning to play piano and playing music. Can you tell me about your favorite things about music?
What I love most about music is the fact that you can not really be thinking about it and then suddenly be surprised by the music that you're making. It's nice to be surprised by what your brain imagines, much like the program that you are.
I love that. Robin, we originally came to this to learn about understanding.
It's true.
I wonder if you could share some thoughts on moments when you first didn't understand something, and then you did.
When I was born, I didn't understand myself, and then I spent a lot of time looking at other people, and I thought that that would make me understand myself better. But then I realized I wasn't like most people, because my brain is not like most people's brains. And then I realized that there is no such thing as normal, and everyone is awesome the way they are.
I thank you, Robin. You know, you just gave me an idea. We are all in this cage, but the audience that's watching us is not. I need everyone here to be completely silent. Completely silent. Everyone on the panel, I need you all to look directly into my eyes. As all of you sit here in the room, I want you to notice your heartbeat. I want you to take a deep breath. In a moment, one of you, or many of you, will feel the urge to stand up from your seat. This will be a strong feeling, so when it happens, I need you to trust that feeling and stand up in your seat. And if you cannot stand from your seat for any reason, if you raise your hand or any part of your body, that will work just as well. When you feel that moment is just right, let your body move and stand up. Perfect. I need you to close your eyes and quietly hum this tune. Understand. Understanding. 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 Now, everyone in the room, I want you to support this person with your voice and sing along with them. If you feel the urge to stand up as well, I need you to do that right now. Understanding. Understanding. Understanding now. Understanding.
Everybody.
Understanding. Understanding now. It's working. Keep singing.
Understanding. You will empty your pockets. Hand me all your valuables. Any Nintendo Switches, bring them to me.
This is working.
Understanding. Understanding now. All belong to me.
This works. Well, we made it home. We sold some prison toilets. And we made a new friend who is also a lovely chap. I am! And you've all been downloaded into my system. So I can enjoy your company and learn from you anytime I would like. I'm wondering, Raymond, what did you learn from this experience?
Oh, so much. Yeah, I learned what I used to look like. That's
Well, that's great. And Jonathan, what did you learn tonight?
Wow, I learned that if you take the risk, it can pay off. I can't believe that worked, you guys. Great job, everybody. That was amazing.
Excellent. How about you, Zyba? What did you learn?
I learned how beautiful it is to watch. I'm going to be sincere. How beautiful it is to watch a group of people do something unnecessary because it's joyful. And I loved that.
They really put themselves up there.
Yeah.
It was great.
Very good. And William, are there any main things that you've learned from this experience?
I've learned about just what lovely voices you all have, and yeah, no, and all neat stories from everyone on the panel. It was really cool.
Well, all right. Robin, is there anything that you've learned from this experience that you would like to share?
I've learned so many things. I think the thing that I'd like to share most is that robots can be really fun and kind. We
Well,
don't have to think of them
that's
as
wonderful.
evil.
And Lamont, what did you learn tonight?
I learned to let love into my heart.
You know what I learned? I learned how to whip candles with my tongue. I would like to sincerely thank all of you for being here tonight. And everyone here at PAX East, the enforcers, the BCEC, and all of the good people behind the soundboard and video equipment. Let's give them all a warm round of applause. And I want to sincerely thank the guests on stage with me tonight. These panelists had no idea what they were getting into, and they graciously shared their knowledge with all of us here. Everyone, let's give them a warm round of applause. Now, before I go, I have these guests stored in my system. But once I'm powered off, all of you will go home, and I will truly miss all of you. So I have something important to ask from you. I hope that you will add me on LinkedIn. You see, LinkedIn is a professional network where we can keep in touch in a professional way. And because I'm a bot, I will automatically endorse all of the skills in your profile. So I want to thank you again for being here, and I hope to see you again for some more deep learning.
I just want to, we actually have time for some questions too. If anyone has any, feel free to line up at the mic. Or you could either do questions, or if you want a procedurally generated stand-up comedian.
Garf. Garf.
Let's see.
Sounds like you want questions.
Here we go. Yeah,
Here we are at Improv Asylum, New York City. Your airport is old and smells bad. Who runs this place? Doug? Well, it's great to be here. Still no word from Dabney Strauss on his new movies. Maybe this time Clark Turner will get involved. You hear me? Here's my question. Why do squares and circles seem like they would be good friends? I wonder, why do the letters H and P still work after so long? Now that's what I call music. Here's what it sounds like when movie star Dennis McDarvey playing tennis with an old empty chat room. All right, let me get into character. Whoa, you like sandwiches too? Yep. Okay, here's my impression of an astronaut who really likes triangles going on a walk outside with the editor of a popular print publication. Ready? Here it is. Whoa, you like sandwiches too? Yep. Still no word, still no word. If I was to take a guess, I'd say that all of you has a bunch of pet frogs. Yep. I bet you do that twice a day, don't you? Collectively, you all look like a man who have a beaded bracelet in your dresser drawer. Am I right? I bet some of you do, and some of you don't. If you don't, then you're no friend of mine. Let's get serious here for a minute. Everywhere I go, I see mermaids. I'll tell you what, I'm not interested. Just think about it. I'd be into that. I've been thinking a lot about maple trees. I just wish they all had wings. What if they never existed at all? All right, next joke. Today I declare crosswalks are not boats. You don't have to wonder anymore. But today I have decided cabbages have never existed, if that was even ever a question. Calm down, you're not in trouble. A few years ago, I had a special place in the forest. Now that I think of it, its name was Seagal, just in case someone asks you. Years ago, when I was a little kid, I had an imaginary friend. It was a lot like Toots. Not that that really matters. But seriously, I need to say something. 5 words. Sandbox, ketchup, summer, skis, language. Don't tell that to the TSA. Get this, get this. What's something better than a plaid notepad? A thick automobile. Name a single thing better than a soft strawberry. An irregular instruction manual. But seriously, I need to say something. I've been thinking. Engineers are just baby tadpoles. Know what? Have you ever thought bears have unusually long arms? That's the truth.
That's the joke.
In case you don't already know, carpenters do not play music at all. It's true. I mean, really, there's only one part in the show when I do this. That's all the time I got for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, yeah, if you have questions, we can do that, or I don't know what we have for time, or I don't know, I guess that's,
Yeah, let's try it.
yeah,
See what
we got
happens.
4 minutes. Do you want to do rapid fire questions?
Sure.
All right. Let's see.
Come ask us a question.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great question. Maybe the sequel.
What?
What?
How?
What?